Okay, good morning, one and all. So, in today's session, we will be dealing with the what are the other major issues in Indian financial system. Okay, in the previous class, we have dealt with income recognition, profitability, as well as we have done with supervision. Okay, means issues means what are the various issues banks are facing means there will be a number of rules and regulations and a number of where the banks are not easily recovering the interest like in income recognition as I told means that a bank should receive interest on periodical period time. So it means if they receive periodical interest means where they can reinvest in other some in others other department for earning profit. In that we have three issues in income recognition. Hope you remember all that is was liquidity, and second effect is non-performing loans as well as effect on balance sheet. So these are the various three effects wherein uh, income recognition as well as profitability issues we have done. Okay, means a bank should be in healthy manner. Mm, means a bank should be in healthy and a good reputation as well as they should work means there should be no problems like internal organizations as well as there should be no issues in outside means external also. And also we have uh, studied the third issue that was about supervision means now means these various financial institution have been came as I told like a number of institutions we have came like merchant bank, mutual funds, leasing companies. So these are the various new financial institutions for those where we should make supervision means where we should make some regulated body means RBI as well as Security Exchange Board of India will regulate those newly financial institutions means for those where there should be a proper supervision should be there. Now coming to the other issues, what what are the banks are facing. Okay, other issues are like sorry for it is not visible. See, the first and the other we have discussing about bank capital adequacy. Next issues, so I think it is not visible. Okay, I will read out. See, other issues we are dealing with banking capital adequacy means a capital adequacy means a bank should keep a certain amount means certain reserve they should make. Okay, bank capital adequacy means bank capital adequacy means an amount of capital a bank or other financial institution should be kept. Okay, here what happened, understood the concept means capital adequacy means where a bank should keep a capital as in saving form means in proper saving form they should keep. Okay, here what it says means every banking organization means we can say every banking organization should maintain a minimum adequate capital. Okay, should maintain a minimum adequate like percentage is 8% reserve. Nowadays it has made 8% reserve means the bank should maintain certain minimum capital. Okay, the why it means why we should keep means the need to maintain an adequate capital asset ratio exceeds discipline on lending means on any time a bank can require certain amount of fund for that purpose. Like RBI have means Reserve Bank of India have said that every banking organization should maintain a capital adequacy means a proper money or we can say amount they should save for a it may for future purpose. See, in the year 1988, this capital adequacy standard means capital adequacy standard were laid down means when it was introduced means it was introduced in the year like 1988. 1988 it was laid down. Who have done means there is a committee like committee of banking regulation and supervisory practices. This was a committee of banking regulation and supervisory practice. For them, popular we call as a Basel committee. Basel committee, which also means they have released an agreed framework. They have made a certain framework on accordance of international convergence of capital measures and capital standards for commercial means there is a committee called means this committee on banking regulations. They have made one framework according to international capital measures that every banking organization should maintain a standard adequacy amount in commercial banks. This was laid down. Okay, understood about capital adequacy means every banking should keep and certain amount of money with them for any occurrence. This was done by whom? There is a committee of banking regulation and supervision on the year 1988. Okay. Other again we have means according to this committee at the capital adequacy measures the safety or safety or solvency of bank. Every bank should maintain this capital means according to this committee which I've told which was laid down in 1988. It says that if you maintain some adequacy capital means it measures the safety of which safety of bank or the solvency of bank. Solvency means solvency we can say when a bank equity capital is less than of its assets. Okay, they should maintain safety. If it occurs means any solvency can occur means solvency means when a bank's equity capital is less than the assets means some amount they should maintain. Every bank this capital is divided into two tiers. Okay, means this banking capital means adequacy capital is divided into two tiers. Tier 1, in tier 1 what kind of amount we can save, in tier 2 what savings we can consist. See, in tier 1 consists of paid up capital, banks paid up capital, wait a minute, banks paid up capital, and we have statutory reserves and other disclosed free reserve. So this type of capital a bank should maintain in tier 1 means paid up capital means we can say like is the amount of money a bank or company has received from the shareholders. Okay, paid up capital means the amount of money which the bank or company has to receive from shareholders on exchange for the share of stock. This is called banks paid up capital that they should maintain. As well as we have statutory reserves means a statutory reserve we can say it is a amount of money set aside by financial institutions. Okay, understood? Statutory reserve means a reserves or is an amount of money set aside means kept aside by a financial institution like such as bank or insurance firm means in order to meet up some obligations means what are the occurrence it can happen. Okay, or as well as statutory reserve, we can say it is a component of the balance sheet as well as it is a component of balance sheet as well as for insurance firm, and can be in form of anything easily convertible to cash, like such as marketable securities. So this was about the statutory reserve. Paid up capital mean amount means amount which is received from shareholders. uh, Shareholder means the amount which is received from it, received, it should be received from shareholders in form of share. Statutory reserve means an amount set aside for like future obligations. As well as we have disclose free reserves. Like disclose free reserve means we can say are reserves which a company gives detailed information. Means disclose free reserve means where a company or we can say a bank will give detailed information to the public. Like example of disclose, we can say shares. About shares, they will give detailed information at what price, how much shares we are selling, and how much shares we are purchasing. It gives detailed information about shares or etc. This comes under tier 1 capital. So these are the tier 1 capital which a bank should maintain. Okay. Next comes tier 2. Tier 2 consists of undisclosed reserve. And one more we have cumulative preference shares, and we have revaluation uh, revaluation reserves. See, undisclosed reserve means it is the opposite of disclose, means in which it includes unpublished, or it may be say hidden reserves that may not appear in public public documents. Undisclosed means are such information which are like we should not leak to the public documents, like a balance sheet of a bank that comes under undisclosed. Means a balance sheet of a bank or certain where we should not easily link or we should leak to the in public. That one more we call for undisclosed reserve is hidden. That should be hidden. That comes under tier 2 capital. Understood about undisclosed reserve? See, undisclosed reserve means it is such kind of information or such kind of unpublished information which will not appear, which we should not give appear, means it will not appear on in public documents, which will not appear in like public documents. Like example, as I have told balance sheet, that is called as undisclosed. In disclosed, what will happen where the in where will give some information. Okay. Next comes cumulative preference shares. Okay, cumulative preference shares means are shares which are given to the shareholders. Okay, which means cumulative preference shares are given to the are such kind of shares shares given to the shareholders, like will give some right to dividends that may have been missed in the past, which have not given any share to the shareholders, which have been missed in the past. Okay, dividend are paid by companies to reward shareholders. Means cumulative preference share means are the shares which are given to the shareholders that actually which we have to give in the past, that we should give. And one more we have revaluation reserves. Wait a minute. Admit. See, revaluation reserves means we can say are most often used when an asset market value mean fluctuates. Okay, revaluation reserve means where we can say where most often used when assets market value fluctuate due to currency relationship. Revaluation, we can say it is an accounting term used means when a company creates a line item to the balance sheet for the purpose of maintaining reserve amount. Okay, revaluation reserve means it is an accounting term in which company create extra line in the balance sheet. Okay, in bank or company, where in balance sheet where the company create one extra line, in that they will maintain some reserve fund or reserve amount that shows in balance sheet. So this was about the banking capital adequacy. In simple term, we can say that every banking organization, what they should do, they should maintain some minimum capital of amount, like which may use for future purpose, like for any sudden moment they can use. For this it was done by which a committee, okay, which was laid down in which year, in 1988. So this committee divided into capital, divided into two tiers, tier 1 and tier 2. In tier 2 it consists of certain banks paid up capital or reserve or some disclosed free reserve. And in coming to the tier 2 means, which consists of like undisclosed, like cumulative preference shares, as well as revaluation reserves. So this comes under bank capital adequacy. And one more we have, in our country means in our India, this capital adequacy was introduced on April 22 in the year 1992, which was regulated and phased manner by RBI, that is Reserve Bank of India. Understood? Means the term capital adequacy in India, what was introduced on which year? On 1992, April 22, which was phased and mannered and prepared by RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Next, we are moving to next issue, that is banking reforms. See, usually banking reforms means where the regulations will be given. Okay, means regulations are given by RBI, or it may be like Security Exchange Board of India for shares. For banking they will give Reserve Bank of India. Various rules and regulations that should be followed by the banks. Sometimes the rules and regulations will be overloaded to the bank, overloaded unnecessarily. The banks means the RBI is giving rules and regulations where it will create burden to the banks, that unnecessarily they are giving n number of rules and regulations. As I told, suppose a bank is having huge number of profit, huge number of profit they're having. What RBI will tell, you amount to us, we will save and we will give some interest for you. That will also create a burden for them. Unnecessary rules and regulations are given by RBI to the banks. As I told, if bank is having huge number of profit, what this RBI will tell, use that amount to us and we will give some high interest. That type of they will give and take. And one more we have, wait a minute, one more we have, repos and reserve repos. I will explain in the next issue. Understand about banking reforms. Means banking reforms means, earlier in the past there was some rules and regulations which are given by RBI. Now when coming to the present, where there are n number of rules and regulations which a bank should follow, that will create burden to the banks. See, banking reforms imply general deregulation. Deregulation means like reduction of some rules, reduction of rules of banking. Okay, banking reforms means implies in general deregulation. Deregulation means reducing some instruction, okay, of banking. Of course, banking regulations was quite essential. Of course, rules and regulations should be there, or in earlier was some quite essential. appropriate, and it will also fairly in the early stage of the development of bank, in order to fill depositors confidence, to create confidence of depositors in bank, and also to enable the depositors depositors and general public to know that banks are being run as per RBI directions and the following regulations act. Okay, means it shows that to the depositors, it create confidence to the depositors and to the general public that these banks are following certain rules and regulations which are prescribed by RBI. Means what happens sometimes, excessive regulations means over regulations made Indian bankers look what they are lending. Wait a minute. Sorry. See, understood about banking reforms, it is also some continue means rules and regulations should be given to show that general public, that to the public as well as to the depositors or to the customers, that usually banks will follow some rules and regulations which are given by some regulated body, that is RBI. But what happened India was that regulation of bank become over regulation or too much regulations and control. Sometimes RBI regulated body will give some, what happens if bank will face n number of problems by giving some over rules and regulations where they cannot control that much rules and regulations. It will create some problems, as well as excessive regulation made Indian bankers is huge, means burden regulations will made Indian brokers look what they are lending, means what they are lending against what they are lending for. It creates huge number of problems to the banks, like what we want to lend, how much we will lend. Okay, as well as we can say regulation is of course good, means rules and regulations are of course good, but it should not become excessive regulation, means over regulation, since the danger of excessive regulation. Rules and regulations should be there, but it should not be to the over regulations, means which it should not create burden for the bank, whether they should follow the rules and regulations or whether to run their banks. So this much means there should be regulations, but quite means some low rules and regulations should be there by RBI. So this is called about banking reforms. Okay, understood? First was capital adequacy, means a bank should maintain some minimum capital adequacy. Second, banking reforms, where rules and regulations should be there, but excessive rules and regulations should not be there. That will create burden to the banks. Okay. Next is next issue we will learn, that is capital market and money market. Okay. Hope you know the meaning of capital market. Capital market means where the funds are borrowed for long term basis. Money market means it is for short term basis. What happened in India, that we have LPG, liberalization, privatization, LPG and globalization. In that, India also liberalization have been given certain uh, certain rules to this capital and money market as well as. Okay, means certain rules means, hope you know the meaning of liberalization. Liberalization means removal of some restriction. Okay, removal of some restriction. In liberalization also liberalization also, this RBI has also included some rules for this capital market as well as for the money market, means various measures have been taken in capital and money market. See, earlier what used to happen when we used to uh, issue for treasury bills you want to issue. Earlier it was 91 days and 180 days. Now they have made for 182 days also, for 364 days also. Means in money market, see, if you want to issue any fund for short term basis, like it is issued for one, earlier it was for 91 days to repay. Now they have changes they have done to 182 days or for 364 days. Like changes they have made in capital market as well as money market. See, consistent with the government's liberalization and globalization policy. Means liberalized operation have also been allowed for capital market as well as money market. Various scopes in the economy for the various capital market as well as money market. Various measures have steps have been taken for the money market and as well as money market as well as capital market. See what are the steps they have taken. Like in money market means companies have given permission to issue any debentures or any debt instruments only after some getting rating. Okay, in money market where companies have been permitted, where they can issue any debentures or any debt instruments like bonds, bills of exchange, debentures, they can issue only some, while some they have given ratings, good ratings. As well as we have second measures what they have done. Wait a minute. That is stringed string disclosure. String disclosure means some requirements or conditions. String disclosures means some requirements or certain rules and regulations have prescribed by SEBI for any complaint by the companies. Okay, as well as blanked permissions. Blanked permissions means we can say blank permission means where some written documents will be given. Blank permissions, the companies whether they can approach to the capital market after obtaining clearance from SEBI to raise some future capital. As well as these are the various measures they have taken. Means they have given permission to issue any debentures or debt instruments in capital market or money market, as well as some string means some requirements or conditions have prescribed by SEBI in any complaint have been happened in money market or capital, or they can take some permissions to approach to take any capital market from SEBI for future capital. As well as we have others, like what are the other measures, like we have new institutions like such as stock holding corporation of India, and one more we have OTCEI means over counter exchange of India have been set up. They can set up to provide needs to the investors and improve the working of stock exchange. Means new institutions like OTCI, over the counter exchange, or stockholder, they can set up, they can establish for the purpose is to provide needs, or the needs investor have been, and they can improve the working of the stock exchange. As well as some guidelines have been issued by SEBI regarding disclosures. SEBI was set up as a statutory body in 1992 to regulate all dealings in stock market and other market. Means certain guidelines have been prescribed for disclosures for by SEBI. And one more, what are the changes they have made as I told? Wait a minute. What are the changes they have made? Like, see, what are the changes they have made? Earlier, if you want to issue any treasury bills, Any treasury bills means it was for easy for short term. For the means within 1 year we should pay that amount. Earlier it was only for like 91 days or for 3 months, 3 months or for 1 month. The time period was given. Now it has been changed. They can pay in 182 days or they can repay in 364 days. They can pay that treasury bills. Okay. And understood means if you have borrowed any issued fund on short term basis, for example in treasury bills, when you want to pay that, usually the time was for 90 days, sorry, 91 days or 3 months. Now they have been changed. We can pay them in 184 days or in 364 days. We can repay. And one more we have repos, uh, repos and reverse repos. Repos and reverse repos. Hope you know the, I think repos means whenever a bank, whenever a banks can take loan from RBI. Repos means whenever a bank can borrow the loan or borrow the money from RBI. For that we call as repos. Reverse repos means where the RBI can take a money, take a money from banks. That is called as reverse repos. In reverse repos also what happens? Suppose a bank is having huge number of huge profit. If suppose a bank is having huge amount of capital or profit, what this RBI will tell, give some amount to us on we will give some high interest, where we will give some high interest. That is called as reverse repos. Repos means where a bank can take loan from RBI. For them we call as repos. Reverse repos means where RBI can take loan money from the various like bank. As well as suppose if a bank is having huge number of profit, that amount they'll tell to them, transfer those amount to us and will give some huge number of interest. That is called as reverse repos. Okay. And one more issue we have, consolidation. One more we have consolidation, that I will explain in the next class. Okay.